Hello everyone, my name is Ms. Dozier-Washington, and today I'm going to share some basic and simple etiquette techniques with you. The first thing I'm going to do is show you the informal place setting and the formal place setting. To my right and your left, we have what is called the informal place setting. You have the dinner fork, the teaspoon, and the soup spoon. You have, to the left, you have your dinner fork and your salad fork, and you have your napkin. In the center, you have your salad plate, which is sometimes sitting here, and you have your dinner plate. And most people just prepare their dinner on a plate like this, and they have their salad separate, which is an informal place setting. We also have what is called the wine goblet and the water goblet, or the wine glass and the water goblet. The wine glass is used mostly when adult beverages are being served with the dinner at home, because this place setting is what most people normally use at home on a regular basis and a weekly basis. Now, to my left and your right is what we call the formal place setting. In the formal place setting, you have the soup spoon, the teaspoon, and you have the dinner knife. You have the dinner fork to the left, and you have the salad fork to the left and your napkin. In the front, you have your dessert spoon and your dessert fork. And you have a bread plate with a butter knife, okay? And as we said before, you have your salad plate, you have your dinner plate, and we use what is called a charger to sometimes pick up extra droppings on the table, or just to make the table look elegant in a lot of place settings. So, on the glasses, you have your white wine goblet, your red wine goblet, and you have your water goblet. And this is what we call a more formal place setting that you would use whenever you're at a fancy dinner or just want to have a fancy evening at home with the family. Now, the one thing I want to show you is that when you're sitting at the table and you start to eat, the first thing in your first course is usually your salad, okay? And after your salad, then your dinner, okay? And that's how you start. And so when your salad, you're going to use your salad fork and not the dinner fork to use with the salad. And then when you begin your dinner, you're going to use your dinner knife and your dinner fork. But one thing I want you to remember is when you use these utensils, you don't use your fork like this. You use your fork like this. This is the correct way to hold it. Whenever you're eating, you hold it like this, okay? And when you're going to cut your meat or some other food on your plate, you don't cut like this. You're going to hold your knife, if you're right-handed, and you're going to hold your fork in your left hand. You're going to put this finger on the knife, and you're going to put this finger on the fork, and then you're going to use your fork to hold and your knife to cut, okay? So that when you finish cutting, then you place your knife down across the corner of your plate, now that you've used it, across the corner of your plate, and you're going to use the fork with the hand that is dominant for you, whether it's your right hand or your left hand, but you're going to hold it like this, so that you bring the food up to you. You don't bring you to the food, you bring the food up to you, and you make sure that you're sitting close enough to the table that you're not dropping food all over the other guests' place settings, okay? And when you're using, now let's move to the formal place setting and how we should use what we should start with first. In the formal place setting, the first thing that most people use is the bread, because there's usually butter on the table, and they use their bread, and they have their bread, and a lot of times they use the bread with the wine, okay? And in addition to that, after the bread, you usually start with a salad. And then when the salad is done, which is where you're using your salad fork again, then you move to the next course. And we call these courses, like the first course, bread and wine, the second course could be your salad, and the main course is your dinner, okay? Now, when dinner is done and the dessert is brought out, whether it's cake or whether it has a souffle or something that's soft, it determines which one of these you will use at that time. Okay? And I have a napkin here. I want you to see that when you're sitting at the table, the napkin goes in your lap. You don't tuck it in your shirt up here. You put it in your lap, and whenever you eat, if the food is on your mouth, you pat around your mouth to make sure that you don't have dripping food down your chin. Okay? And the other thing I want to mention to you is if you're a young man or you're a gentleman and you're wearing a tie at the table, and ties are what we all wear in the 5,000 role models, you wear your ties, okay? You're not going to allow your tie to drip in your plate. You're going to take your tie, and if you're just wearing a shirt and a tie, you're going to remove that tie and put it back here so that you can eat without dripping your tie in your soup or your food, okay? And if you're not wearing a jacket where you can tuck it in down here, that's what you do. But if you're wearing a jacket, you can always tuck it into the side or tuck it down and keep it there so it's not falling into your food. Now, I mentioned soup, but I want you to remember that sometimes there's a soup bowl inside the salad bowl because they'll use the soup and the bread first together. I just wanted to mention that to make sure that you know soup is sometimes served in a formal setting, and sometimes in an informal setting you have soup, but you don't want your tie in your soup and you don't want your sleeves in your soup, so you have to make sure that you're being mindful of how you reach, and you don't reach across the table in front of other people. You say to them, will you pass me the bread please, or will you pass me the salad please? You always use the word please and thank you because those are good manners. Speaking of please and thank you, I'm going to tell you the next phase of our etiquette that we should practice, and that's simple acts of kindness. Whenever you receive a gift from someone, you always find a way to express kindness and appreciation. Here's an example. If someone gives you a gift, or someone buys you a bike, or someone buys you anything, it could be a shirt, a blouse, you should find a way to say thank you. Most often, a thank you card can go a long way. You can write a thank you letter, or you can write a thank you card. And that little tiny card can make the difference as to whether that person will want to spend time giving you another gift or not. And remember, when they buy you that gift or they give you that gift, they don't have to. It's their act of kindness to you. And whenever you return that act of kindness, it helps to make the world a better place for all of us. And it definitely builds good friendship. So, those are my simple etiquette tips for you today. Maybe we'll do another level of it the next time. So until the next time, thank you so much, and I hope you've learned a lot from our basic and simple acts of kindness and our basic and simple etiquette practices. Have a great day.